Hello, and welcome to Southern Oregon Songwriters Circle, here live on Rogue Valley Community Television, RVTV Voices to be exact. My name is Charles Douglas, and I'm really so happy to have three local singer-songwriters giving us their all original music, sharing their love of community, sharing their love of, original art with Southern Oregon and the whole wide world, streaming online, of course, at rvtv.sou.edu. Right now, our first musician on the stage is Jessie Eells-Adams. Jessie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. So, Jessie, Misery Farm. Just where does Misery Farm live? Like, where can I find this on the map?
Misery Farm is available on Bandcamp. You can Google search Bandcamp Misery Farm, and it'll pop up first result, I believe. You can go on there, you can download it for free. It's got 19 tracks that I've written from age 12, I think one of the songs I wrote when I was 12 or 13, until the last song that I wrote before I recorded it, which was Fading Again. It's track, let's call it 13 or something, but yeah. So there's about a 12-year span of songs that I wrote, and it was everything that I had to contribute to that album, and it's my White Album, if you will. It's very unwieldy.
I mean, White Album came pretty late in the Beatles' career. This actually sounds like this is your magnum opus, kind of like your work of a lifetime.
Well, that would be too bad, because then there's nowhere to go but down.
Exactly.
Yeah. Basically, I had to record all the songs. I had one shot. I had one recording studio to do it and one summer to do it, so I recorded as much as I could. And then, of course, I've written songs since then, and that's one of those songs I'll be playing as a song that I've written since I recorded Misery Farm.
Since Misery Farm came out, of course, so we've seen quite a startling development in the music world. All of a sudden, Iggy Pop coming out of retirement with Josh Homme. He's going to release something called Post-Pop Depression.
Yep.
I heard that album title, and I'm like, they got that from Jessie.
Yeah, exactly. They're lifting off me again. Well, I'm a known inspiration to Iggy Pop.
But a lot of the tracks in your album, you're kind of getting into some of that kind of post-college depression, like, oh gosh, what am I doing with my life now? I have a piece of paper that says I'm educated, but where to from here?
I'm just a privileged sap. I got to get a college degree, and that's fantastic. I'm just trying to relate to anyone who has negative feelings sometimes, and I'm trying to be very upfront about it, because I don't really believe in holding back about it. And if you're holding back, then you're really compromising your artistic ability and expression. So kind of the idea of my songwriting in the Misery Farm style is to be very direct about it. I would kind of like to move on from that style at some point. I have a new project in the works, but I have been writing Misery Farm type songs lately.
So you want to kind of move on from authenticity, do something more commercially accessible?
From sincerity to insincerity, I would love that. Yeah, something more commercial would be nice.
So what kind of track do you have for us tonight? Is it something a little more insincere? Or?
Yeah, No. This is definitely in the vein of Misery Farm. I would like to play it because I think there's a few people in this room that are going to find it pretty funny, because it's just very much in that misery vein. And yeah. Oh, I wrote it around the time of Christmas. I had a few friends that were writing Christmas theme songs, and I was just like, why not me?
Well, let's get the cheers rolling. Jessie
right.
Eells-Adams coming to the stage. Again, you're watching live Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle. Found out more about us on Facebook.com/South Oregon. Here you go, Jessie.
All right.
It's all you. What's this track called, by the way?
I'm pretty sure it's called The Old Christmas Tree. And it really was just an attempt to write a sad, sad song from the perspective of a very sad person. All right. I've got a lot of friends and they all make me happy. I'm going through some changes, but they all understand me. Why, oh why do I push them all away in the end? I reply to all the Christmas cards that they send to me. I even stack them up beneath the old Christmas tree. Why, oh why do I throw them all away in the end? People aren't meant to be stacked like books on shelves. They aren't meant to be worked like Christmas elves. People are meant to run wild and free, cross the mountains and plains neath the Christmas rain. I remember all the places that I couldn't comprehend. The death of finalities, the death of the end. Keep them cold, keep on pouring them and passing them to me. Can't believe I'm 25, gee, what a stitch. I thought by now I'd be dead in a ditch. What on earth kind of purpose am I going to serve? I'd rather be boiling in the roiling sea than live to see the day you stop loving me. That'll be the final curtain draw. In fact, it might be the end of it all. I'll keep on loving all the people that are good to me. It's just hard to say that I can't see you all. It'll come a time when we'll all be together in the end. That was it.
Jesse Eells-Adams, live here on Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle.
With a sad song.
It's a very sad song. Thank you, Jesse. Well, I try to compose myself here after feeling the weight of the ages weigh down on me. I just want to let you know that if you're a local singer-songwriter, if you know a local singer-songwriter you think would, really get something out of being able to share their music, not just at the open mic or at the local club, but here on TV, here on the World Wide Web, here with the whole wide world, then please let them know about Facebook.com/South Oregon, Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle. We're on YouTube as well. Go ahead and look us up. Up next, we got Scott Garriott coming on to the Songwriter Circle stage. Scott, welcome on back.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Again, Scott's release right here in all of its full color glory. No VGA graphics here. This is 256-bit primordial Slackjaw Android. On sale now, I understand, right?
Yeah, you can buy it on Bandcamp first of all. Where I also have a lot of music to download for free on there. This album, as well as an album called Old Morning, which I released in 2015, and also a lot of older albums, as well as I do a lot of kind of B-side albums where I just take a lot of experimental throwaways and songs that didn't make it onto other albums and throw that onto stuff. So I'm always making little stuff like that to throw on there for free. So
I have to confess. This is your first album, like you just mentioned. Yeah, you had one release last year.
This is my first vinyl album. I've probably done like 20 or something.
Is that right?
As far as like actual putting collections of songs together and making art for them and all that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow. But what would you say the difference is, approaching that directly, between releasing an album digitally and on CD, which you did first with this collection, versus your later release on vinyl? What was the difference as far as the audience's reaction, how they related to that?
The audience's reaction?
Or your reaction, if you don't know their reaction.
I dig the sound a lot more on this. I mean, when I listen to the MP3s now, it just sounds harsh to me or something, or I don't like the way it sounds, just because something, even though it was recorded digitally, I like the way something about the transfer to the vinyl and that sound I really like. And then the audience reaction, I mean, I guess it's more unique to have something on vinyl than it is on MP3, so, and that's definitely something I've wanted for a while, or dreamed of for a while, was to have something on vinyl, so. And yeah, people think it's pretty cool for the most part, I guess. I mean, they might be saying bad things about it behind my back, but to my face, they seem to enjoy it. So.
Well, let's let Jesse assume the worst, right?
Yeah.
Primordial Slackjaw Android, I have to admit, that's a bit of a tongue twister. How did you come up with that title?
Well, I mean, like I said, I've been working on the album for a long time, like at least a year or two. And I had another title that was more generic and kind of a working title. And then one day I just put those words together and it just seemed to fit. And I feel like Primordial Slackjaw Android, that phrase in and of itself means something to me as far as the state of the world goes. Like maybe, like if we're all becoming kind of digitized, then maybe we're turning into robots. Maybe we're like or maybe I'm like a robot, but I'm a primordial slackjaw robot who isn't quite perfect yet, or something. And also, the words describe the music to me. Like slackjaw describes the more country slackjaw sounding songs, and then Android could describe the more digital electronic songs on there. So
actually makes me think of Marshall McLuhan, his 4 Laws of Media, that as soon as you introduce a new technology, sure, you have this new development in a certain sense, but in another sense, it actually recalls sort of a more ancient way of living.
Okay.
And kind of dredges it back up.
Sure. Yeah.
And you know, they say that about television actually, is that
Yeah.
it actually regresses us from a literary culture and throws us back into a more visual, more visceral storytelling sort of medium.
Right. Well, I did try to mix. Like, I like the idea of mixing old technology with new, and not dismissing anything old or new, like not being stuck in one way or another, I guess, and seeing it all as equally relevant. And also, you can buy this album in town here. I have them at the CD or Not CD, Music Coop, Video Explorer, and Push Art Gallery. I think that's it. But yeah.
And real quick, you mentioned some of your musical influences in a general sense, but as a songwriter, particularly a very prolific one, sounds like. What would you say, song structure-wise, poetry-wise? What would be some of your direct influences? What kind of shapes the way you're putting your lyrics together?
Song structure-wise?
Yeah.
I guess I do it kind of intuitively because I never learned any kind of, never had any classical training or songwriter training, whatever that would be.
Well, me neither.
So I just kind of figured out, oh, if you play these chords, it sounds kind of nice like those other songs I like, and then just kind of learn that intuitively. Sometimes I'll write the lyrics first, sometimes I'll write the melody first. It just depends on the song. Or, I don't know, I have kind of a different approach to every song, and I really took that to the extreme on this album. I wanted every song to be its own unique entity and not be like, not having to relate to each other necessarily, even though it kind of has a cohesive thing going on if you listen to the whole thing. But I kind of, yeah, crafted it that way, but definitely wanted to have every song be its own entity.
And what's next for you? You got another album kind of in the works already?
Yeah, like I said, I released one called Old Morning in 2015, so that was even newer than this one. And that one's a bit more cohesive stylistically. And I got like 4 or 5 songs for a new one so far as like ones I know I want to be on there. And
Old Morning, kind of hearing echoes of Dylan there, New Morning.
Yeah, definitely a reference to that in a way. And I also have more experimental stuff I'm working on because I've been influenced by like noise music and experimental music, especially from some friends I've made in this valley around the last couple years. And there's a lot of more experimental, atonal, amusical stuff on this album as well.
Well, let's not bring up Arlo and Corey. We'll have to drag him in here one of these days. But let's get you on stage right now, Scott. One more track. Is this from Paranoid Slack to Android, or
it is
one of your newer albums?
This is from that album, and I should mention that I heard the song in a dream, and then I kind of got up and quickly wrote it down. Not all the lyrics, but the chorus and the general melody. So it's about a cat that lived out on a farm I used to hang out at. It's called Carla Jones. Carla Jones doesn't take what you give her, but she takes what she wants. Oh, oh. Sneaking up on you with claws, getting in your soul. Where exactly is she now? That's what everybody wants to know. She'll ruin your existence while trying to put on a show. I don't want to believe in the dark. I don't want to believe in the dark. I don't want to believe, but it's dark, oh no. I don't want to believe in the dark. I don't want to believe in the dark. I don't want to believe, but it's dark, oh no. Carla Jones hangs out on a farm with all of the hay and hose. She's a sneaky little cat, gonna grab you when you're high or low. Toying with your life until you think you're gonna blow. Hanging out with the folks, trying to stay away from Carla Jones. I don't wanna believe in the dark. I don't want to believe in the dark. I don't want to believe, but it's dark, oh no. I don't want to believe in the dark. I don't want to believe in the dark. I don't want to believe in Carla Jones.
Well, it's not dark yet, but it's getting there. Scott Garriott with an original track again off his LP, Primordial. I'm paranoid. This is Primordial. Slackdraw Android. Thanks again, Scott, so much. We're going to get our final musical guest on stage right now, and I say guest using the term very loosely. This is actually the producer, the creator of this program you're watching right now on RVTV Voices. Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle producer, Michael Hoover. Get on up here, Mike.
Hey,
Hey,
what's going on?
what's happening?
Not much. I'm actually pretty excited. Me and Jessie have been working on a new album outside of All My Burnt Bridges. So yeah.
Have you now?
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking about your own personal All My Burnt Bridges being pretty eclectic, very country influenced. What would you say the difference is between that creation and what you and Jessie got cooking?
This is more like of a concept album in a way. Like it's fictional, but it's very, very metaphorical.
So it's a concept. So what's the saga? Tell me a saga. What's the big epic story behind
where
this?
we started, the first idea we had was like a cowboy deity, kind of like comes down to like learn about the world, and then he like trades in his immortality because he enjoys it down here, and then as soon as he trades in his immortality, he gets sentenced to death because he ends up killing somebody.
That sounds a little bit like the late Mr. David Bowie, Man Who Fell to Earth. What do you think of that, Jessie?
What do I think about the song or David Bowie or I don't know? I kind of think of this character that we developed as kind of the protagonist in El Paso by Marty Robbins, except for he was a god at one point. Yeah. So he ends up killing somebody for the love of his significant other, and he's tried and he's hanged. But in a previous incarnation, he was a lesser god of sorts.
Sounds, very, actually almost kind of feudal, ancient Japanese, some of the storylines there.
It just makes sense, Chuck.
Right.
Like,
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's going to be good. It's like about time in mine and Jesse's friendship and like musical career to do something
big.
Well, there you go, overthinking things again.
Yeah. And there's going to be great album art. We already are talking about that.
Yeah.
So it's really, you're going to get a whole package out of this one.
Exactly.
You'll get an album from me. This is going to be...
Yeah, you're going to get music videos.
Yeah.
You're going to get the songs. You're going to get merchandise.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. We haven't talked about that, but it's a good idea.
I just want
See,
I just want the kitchen apron.
It's like that.
It's like that every day. It's like a new idea.
Yeah.
It's like, why not? And we kind of believe in the thing, like, if it seems stupid and people don't get it, then we're probably just going to do it.
And then they'll come around.
And it'll come around and you'll like it.
Even
That's
you.
my favorite thing about Dylan is like, there's so many albums that maybe at first listen you're like, oh, what is he doing?
Come on, Bob.
And then you go back and give it the time it deserves and you're like, it's like your favorite album.
Right. So, people didn't receive Self-Portrait well.
Couldn't you say the same thing about the show, Hoover? I mean, this is kind of your creation. It's already turned into a 12-armed, 3-headed baby monster kind of deal.
Hydra?
Baby monster?
Yeah, kind of out of the crib and already dancing.
Hydra sounds better than a baby
That's
monster.
terrifying.
Why don't
It
you
is
just call it by its name?
Out of the
you've
crib and stuff. Do you know how scary that'd be if an infant just climbed
Yeah.
out of it?
Yeah.
I
Start
think that's
doing
been
a
done.
jig.
I'm
I
having
think it's been done.
nightmares tonight.
It's called Rosemary's Baby. It came out in the 70s.
I know that.
Yeah, look it up. So, but seriously,
The Antichrist.
the fact that this show's already one of the biggest shows on local television, that must kind of really
really-
inspire you. Really kind of
No, not inspire me. It feels good.
feels good.
I
So-
don't know what it would what success would inspire.
Well,
Like
making more of these and getting more local musicians involved. And the fact that you're getting local musicians that kind of exposure they haven't had before.
yeah, it ain't bad. So we're gonna play a song before we run out of time.
Well, get up there.
This one's called "Cold Sunday." I guess.
Cold Sunday.
Working title.
Yeah.
I'd say.
And you'll notice me and Jessie get really close for this song. But
It represents our working relationship.
yeah,
Very close.
knee to the crotch.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Resting on the crotch.
Special duet, Jessie and Michael.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. It's another cold, cold Sunday.
If you got something to say, say it now. I ain't got much time to wait. Years are going by, my hair is turning gray. I'm getting older, let's get things straight. Just another dull Monday, watching the minutes slip away. And I know that you've been busy, but darling, I've been lonesome. And I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if I miss you Tuesday, I hope you meet me halfway. I ain't asking for much, flowers and such. That's if I miss you Tuesday. If you got something to say, say it now. I ain't got much time to wait. Years are going by, my hair is turning gray. I'm getting older, let's get things straight. Make most Wednesdays. Sha la 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 la. Thursday turns to Friday. I never get things done. And all of a sudden Saturday comes. It's another cold, cold Sunday. Thinking about you and what to say. If you think about me, won't you write a letter, please? On this cold, cold Sunday. If you got something to say, say it now. I ain't got much time to wait. Years are going by, my hair is turning gray. I'm getting older, let's get things straight. I'm getting older, let's get things straight.
Right here on Southern Oregon Songwriter Circle, that was Jessie Eells-Adams on stage left and Michael Hoover on stage right with their, well, duet performance off of their as yet unreleased album. What's that album going to be called again, guys?
The Ballad of Calamity Pete is a working title.
Calamity Pete.
And White Lightning.
And White Lightning. White Lightning's the horse.
Let's not forget.
The horse.
Yeah.
The horse he rode in on.
Of course.
Before he got hung.
That's the saddest part of the album. The most beautiful part, really.
Before he got hanged, after the previous reincarnation, it's quite an epic.
It's intricate. Don't bother your pretty little brain about
And
it.
little, you know, thing keeping you on the edge of the seat.
What happens?
We don't know what happens to White Lightning.
No, but we know what happens to Calamity Pete.
Yeah.
He dies in his cabin, and we find his writings and turn them into song for y'all to listen to.
Yeah. And I hope that some old man cries when he hears it.
That's it. Just one.
Just one old man, like,
In a bar. Yeah. Just.
someone who should have gone home and keeps drinking because of how sad it is.
Someone who has back pain, but now also has heart pain.
Well, Jesse, Michael, before I get totally verklempt, when might local viewers, listeners expect this album to come out?
Hopefully by October. If I don't do something great by October, I don't know.
Yeah, we're basically, if we don't get successful in music in the next, like,
I don't know.
6 months,
So laying in bed getting famous all day is not going to cut it.
Not anymore. No, not anymore. We can't suck anymore.
No, we can't suck. We had a long discussion about like not sucking anymore.
Yeah.
And Hoover, when's your Not Sucking album coming out?
Oh, that might suck. No, April 29th, hopefully.
April 29th.
If I get some support.
Which, for the record, ladies and gentlemen, is not Hitler's birthday.
It's his birthday.
No, it's my birthday.
Exactly.
His and hers birthday.
So I know the clock's about to roll out on us here. Again, you've been watching Southern Oregon Songwriters Circle on RVTV Voices. Find out more at facebook.com/South Oregon. I want to thank all of our musical guests, Jessie Eells-Adams and Michael Hoover, who are just on stage. Scott Garriott as well joining us for back-to-back live episodes. You can find their SoundClouds and Bandcamps out. We'll link them on our Facebook, and you'll see all about it. As you roll the credits, I got to thank all the folks who made this show possible, all volunteer crew. Ron Huffstutter holding it down as director there in the control room. We had Michael Bryant step in at the last minute on camera, along with Alex McGlasson, Grant Chisholm, Alex Mesadieu, and Parker Mills on the roaming cam as our special guest. Also had David Wilson get our lighting and our sound lined up as well. Again, you'll see us again real soon on Southern Oregon Songwriters Circle on RVTV Voices and on the World Wide Web. So for all of us here from Songwriters Circle, stay classy, Southern Oregon. Have a good night.